Hey YouTube. All right. So today is going to be week one, push day number two. And I did not record legs because I go to a public gym to do that, and I don't feel comfortable recording with other people around in a gym just because I kind of want to respect their privacy. I I do record some short clips of myself working out in the gym for like Instagram, but it's very strategic where people are not going to be in the video. At least I try to make sure they're not in the video when I do those quick little recordings. But for the most part, my legs aren't going to be recorded on YouTube. So if that's something you're interested in, you can just see a couple of the Instagram videos I have posted to see that. But for the most part, it's just going to be kind of this stuff. So with that being said, we are starting off with flies. I think I'm going to do dumbbell flies. I've been doing a lot of cable flies, so I'm going to switch. So I'm going to switch to doing dumbbell flies for just this day because I think it's going to be easier on my joints and everything, not doing so much cable. And I'm still really sore from when I did the first push day. I am so glad that I didn't push too hard when I did chest the push day on Monday, because man, oh man, I really am sore, like really sore. So let's just get into it. So I'm gonna set that up. I'm gonna start with power blocks, dumbbells, and I am just gonna warm up. Review is coming soon, I promise. I know I keep saying that. I'll probably do a quick review and then I'll do a full-length review. But these things are pretty great. So, yeah. Remember, warming up is important. I did that as a 10-pound dumbbell, and it was a lot of stretch, a little uncomfortable. So now they're 5 pounds each, and feels a lot better for a warm-up. You don't want to jump into things too heavy as you're trying to warm up. That's when injury is most likely to happen. Also, power block is really cool because this is 5 pounds and these are 2.5, and 2 of them go in, which turns into 10 pounds. So these can add either a 2.5 or a 5-pound increment on top of the weights that can get changed. So not only can you do with these in, you can do 15, 25, you just subtract 5, or you can do 12 and a half, 22 and a half, or 17 and a half, sorry. So pretty cool. So I think I found the weight I need to be at. If you know what power blocks are, at least the style of adjustable dumbbells, you might be thinking, you are holding them a little funky there, aren't you? Yes, you are correct. I am. And that is because the way that you hold them is like this, right? But as I showed you earlier, in these tubes is where those weights go in, those round bars. And when you're holding it like for flies, that you're kind of fighting it with your grip and your forearm strength. And for me personally, that's kind of taken away from my mind muscle connection in my chest since I'm trying to do flies. So if I'm to take the weight and hold it this way, so that way this is resting on my wrist, it takes that away almost completely. And I felt immediately the mind muscle connection in my chest as if I'm doing cable flies, which is great. So just explaining, if it looks funky, that's why I'm doing it that way. If you have these and you do flies, try doing it that way. That first set was a little rough because I'm still sore, and it's a little uncomfortable, like not a good discomfort where it's like, yeah, you're really stretching. It's more like I'm worried I might get a little hurt here. So it seemed like I was more closer to one RAR, one rep shy of failure. And I'm not sure if that's because I'm really, really sore and I'm kind of being cautious, my body's maybe holding back, or is it because since I'm so sore, my muscles haven't recovered and they're still weak because they're not fully recovered? That could also be a possibility. So maybe the fact that I did 20 pounds but only 11 reps and it felt like one rep shy of failure instead of 3, which I'm supposed to be at 3 this week. I don't know. We'll see what that is, but hopefully I don't get injured. So I gotta really, really take it easy now. But it feels really good. So I'm kind of glad I changed up doing 2 cable flies a week. And what I mean by that is my push day 1 has cable flies and push day 2 had cable flies. I think this is a good change in pace and it feels really good. So I guess we'll go from there, but carefully, right? Always want to prevent myself from getting injured. Make sure I can fully recover. Okay, so finished the flies. So I'm going to do incline dumbbell press. I love them. Super deep stretch, and they really feel good. But again, the same thing that's happening right now. Since I feel really sore, I might just do 1 set instead of 2, and I might call it a day for chest. Just because, again, I don't want to get injured. So it's probably a good idea to take it easy because I am very, very sore, like extremely sore everywhere. My biceps still feel really sore. I did legs yesterday and my quads. Just to explain, I only did 2 working sets of quads because I was in a rush to get to a doctor's appointment, realizing that time took a little too long. And shoot, man, just 2 working sets of belt squats, my quads are actually slightly painfully sore, where it hurts to kind of like massage them. So maybe that puts into perspective like how sore I am and how I need to really take it easy this week, ease into it. Because then over time I kind of gradually I start finding the right volume, reps, weight, everything to be able to stay sore but recover in time for that next time I have to do that muscle group. So we're gonna try these out. Fingers crossed I don't have any pain. If it's too much, I'm just gonna have to stop and work on triceps and shoulders. I know my shoulders are fine, so I could definitely add more volume there, but all right, I guess we'll see how it goes. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I felt all right, but I think I might just do 1 more set and then not finish chest. Actually, I'm like really pumped right now. I think I'd be okay with calling it here. Like I said, the main thing is I do not want to get hurt at all. I want to be able to stay in the gym, keep that consistency. So I'm just going to call it for chest, and I'm going to just jump into doing triceps. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can tell, but I kind of set up maybe it'd be better if I just show you up close, but you can see I have some dip bars set up on here. Yes, this does come with the whole machine, which is super awesome. I have these safety arms right here, the little ones that I have the band attached to. Now that that's out of the way, you're probably thinking, what the hell are you doing? You look really awkward the way you're using the band. Why are you kind of bending your knees so much when you go down? Because I'm really trying to keep the resistance the same on the band, so that way as I'm going down and then I come up, it should roughly be the same resistance, the same support, the whole movement through. So that's why I do that, because the problem with resistance bands is it gives you support, and typically when you're in the stretched or lengthened position, and being in the stretched position, you need that. That's the most important for muscle growth. So the fact that it makes it easier is not going to help muscle growth. So that's why I try to keep it even, because if it's even, I'm still getting the support that I need to get as many reps as possible, while at the same time I'm able to still provide enough stimulus, and it's not making it too easy on the stretched position. So that's why I do it. So far it feels fine. My triceps are a little sore, not nearly as sore as my chest, which is, I'm really glad. So I'll definitely be able to finish this fully, which is just 2 sets. That was my pops in the background. I love these cable upright rows. I think they feel phenomenal on the side delts. Very underrated. I think more people should try it out. I think if people complain about their shoulders, in my opinion, I think there's 2 things that they need to fix. It's either their form, and that can mean a couple things. Or the second thing, it could just be the weight's just too dang heavy. Because that's obviously your thing, right? Think about it logically. If you can't bench 315 and you end up going to bench 315, you're going to get hurt. No doubt about that. And not just like from being crushed, but the possibility that you can tear something on the way, the bars on its way down. So, for example, shoulders. You do the side lateral cable raises or maybe dumbbells. If you go really heavy, you might tweak something. And that's very, very likely, and actually not too uncommon. My physical therapist says that that's a common problem when he has people coming in with shoulder injuries. It's because they go too heavy, and then they move and jerk in a certain way because their form is bad, because they're ego lifting, and they get injured. So it's just, you got to use common sense and a little bit of logic here that, look, don't go too heavy if you're struggling. Lighten up the load, throw your ego out the door, and try and look up how to work on your form for that. But what are the cues do you need to know to make your form better, so that way you can maximize the weight that you're pulling? So it's just my little spiel on it, but I freaking love these. So some of you might be asking yourselves, why do you go up so high? Well, in my last video I mentioned I don't mind the fact that I can get a little bit more traps work when I'm doing certain shoulder workouts. Obviously I'm not targeting the traps, and it's not primarily hitting my traps, but it's kind of that extra juice, that little extra fluff, or that cherry on top, just to get a little extra volume in with my traps. So that is why I go just a little bit higher. And as I get tired, you'll probably see that I won't go as high, because I rather save more of that energy later on for continuing targeting my delts. So that's my spiel behind it. Obviously you don't have to do this or do it that way, but you don't have to do it that way, but just kind of my 2 cents on it, right? That was 24 reps. I go higher on the rep range for these because I know the load is light enough for me not to get injured. As I mentioned on my rant earlier, you can get shoulder injuries, right? Going too heavy. And it's very easy to tweak something with shoulders, at least for me personally. And I have shoulder injuries anyways. So it's always important for me to be very, very careful. So that's why I tend to go light. It's only 50 pounds for the whole cable. It's not really that heavy, to be honest. I could probably go a little heavier since I did 24 reps, but this is an easy week. I'd rather take things, like I said, smooth, just be safe as possible. So I might go up later on in the mesocycle, but for now, this week especially, just kind of get back into it. Don't get hurt. Those are the goals. I'm mile rep matching right now for all 3 sets. All right, we'll see how this last one goes. I don't know if I'm gonna want to do like some shrugs with it or not, but like I said, we'll see how it goes. Say hi. Well, so I'll make sure to edit that part out where it dropped because that might sound really loud to you guys and unpleasant. I think I'll do dumbbell shrugs, mostly because I want them to get a little stronger. Hey. Your traps help with a lot of pulling type of movements. Oh, and the battery is close to dying again. By the way, folks, you might notice that at the end of the other videos, the videos just cut out. It's because the battery dies. So I have another battery. I just keep forgetting to freaking charge it. So I'll try and do these quick, but if not, if it cuts out on me, at least you know it's the end. That's just a one set type of deal. So like I mentioned, you get a lot of trap stimulus from shoulders and back. There's not really a need to work them out individually. I want to kind of strengthen them up a bit, but I'm just going to only try one set and that's it, just to give it a little extra oomph. But other than that, I'm not going to do anything too crazy. But so this is it. This is the end of the video. I finally made it before the battery died. So I guess if you like my rants and like hanging out with me while I'm working out, then consider liking and subscribing. See you guys later.